guys, I am making for the first time sauerkraut using these easy fermenter lids that I saw on Amazon. So the idea is that you just use your regular old mason jar, and instead of like the lid that comes with it, you use one of these, and it'll screw on. And then there's this handy dandy pump that allows you to pump out all of the air, so it's airtight. My goal is to make probiotic rich, you know, fermented foods, and the way to do that is to let them ferment at room temperature. I'm gonna try to do 2 jars of pickles and 2 jars of sauerkraut. Oh, cool, well I just broke that. So 2 jars of pickles and 1 jar of sauerkraut. I did read that you could use a probiotic starter culture to make sauerkraut. So I bought it on Amazon, and then I was reading a lot about sauerkraut, and it supposedly you don't need it. There's controversy. Some people say it doesn't make it taste as good, you don't need it. The natural fermentation process is going to give you enough natural probiotic, so you don't need to add it. So I decided, because I was gonna do 2 jars, maybe I can find another jar. So my goal was to do 1 jar with the starter, 1 without, so I could do a taste test comparison. And then I was gonna just do the pickles like I did them last time, which is just in a saltwater brine with seasoning, and then leave them on the counter for 3 to 5 days before I move them into the fridge. I'm starting to chop up the cabbage, and I made sure to peel 2 leaves to keep them for the end of the jarring process, because you'll want to put this on top from what I understand. While I'm chopping this, I am getting my brine ready for pickles. You want to have a saltwater brine 2 to 5%. To prevent molding, I read a chart that said that they recommended about 3.5–4%. So I'm measuring out 2 cups of water, and that there's charts online that you can go find this, but basically that percentage of brine would be about 17 grams of sea salt, or just any kind of salt. I ended up boiling my water because I don't have any filtered water and I didn't want any contaminants, so I boiled it for 20 minutes. So it's cooling down, and I'm going to dissolve my salt water in there. So while that brine is cooling, I'm going to chop up the rest of this cabbage and then start my massaging process. All right, so I have my water, I put it at 0, and I want to put, I got 2 cups of water. So according to the chart, I need 17 grams. Ooh, went over a little bit. All right, I chopped it all up, and now I'm going to pour a little bit of this sea salt. And I don't know if there's like an actual amount, so I'm just gonna do about that. And then I'm gonna massage it in. The idea is that you massage it in until it gets really like wet. And if you do it for about 5 to 10 minutes, it will start to kind of wilt, and I will lose some of this volume. So now you can see after massaging it, letting it sit, it kind of has this like glossy look to it. And I've already started to pack this. So I'm going to pack this as tight as I can, but leaving a little bit of space on top for me to pack this cabbage. It's going to expand, and then if there's any air, I'm supposed to fill it with a little extra brine, and then put the lid on, and then I'll suck the air out of it. Here is my jar. So I never claimed to be an expert, you guys. That one little cabbage only made 1 jar. So I sprinkled in some of the starter, but I'm actually not going to have another jar without the starter. So there's not very much in here. My hands are all purple. So we're gonna see, but I'm gonna use this thing to suck the air out, and I did put that top leaf in there and pushed it down pretty far, but this will suck the air out. And then this thing has like a little thing that I can move to remember what date I started on. And then I'm gonna wanna check it again. I guess you're supposed to taste it in about a week. It's super hot right now, so I might taste it in like 5 days, because I've heard that it might only take, I don't know. I've heard lots of things, so I'm experimenting just like I think a lot of people do the first time they do this. Directions say that check your kraut after 10 days. So and then it can take up to 30 days. I think with this heat, I'm gonna try it at like 7. And then I can switch this out for a normal lid and then just put it in the fridge. All right, so I decided to pack the jars first as tight as I could with my little pickles that I got from Trader Joe's. And I stuck in these bay leaves. So you can also use grape leaves, but basically these leaves have tannins in it, and the tannins help your cucumber stay crispy. And I also put some fresh garlic, as you can see in there, and then I just shook aggressively some fennel seeds, some dill. Fresh dill would be tight, but I don't have it. And then I just found this, it's Kroger brand. So now I'm going to pour my water in, and I might have to make more. And I do. Okay, so I let these ferment on the counter. I had 2 jars for about 3 days, and it's been super hot in Portland, so I kind of forgot about them, and I was thinking I would check them like every day, but I didn't. So at the 3-day mark, I tested it, and then I put them into the fridge. So you can see that there is a nice cloudy fluid in here, the brine. So that's full of the good stuff. And after I did this, I read that it's a good idea to cut off these little stems because there's some kind of enzyme in them that can actually contribute to making them not stay as crisp. So I did add some bay leaves, you know, to help the tannins that would help with that crispiness. So I did try one that was not as crispy, but then I tried another one that was totally crispy. Tastes delicious. I feel like I had a good amount of salt in there to help the fermentation process and also have a lot of taste. And I'll definitely be doing this again, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also have like a tangy kind of taste to them that it's hard to describe. It's almost not sour, but I definitely know that that is the fermentation process, that those probiotics in there giving it that kind of tangy taste, but I think it's really good. Yeah, my sauerkraut turned out good. So I had set this little thing for the 23rd, and then I went on a trip, and it actually sat on the counter fermenting in our like 90-degree weather, fermenting for about 13 days. So when I got home, I, you know, unscrewed this, and I took the top leaf off, and I just scooped off some of the, just that top stuff, because I wasn't too sure. But it's this really lovely, like almost like hot pink color. Can you see that? And it's very like tangy and sour, which I love. So, you know, I feel like it's a success. I don't know, I mean, compared to other sauerkraut, maybe what I would do next time is try to shred this smaller, like shred it up in a food processor or chop it up really small. But I'm really digging it, and I'm going to be making more for sure. I did add a little bit of the probiotic starter kit, and I don't think it's necessary, so I think I'm just going to not do that next time. All right, thanks so much for watching, and if you do this, please, please, please let me know how it turns out. Tag me, comment, let me know. Thanks.